So Amy, where do you usually keep your compost bin?
Usually next to my sink.
And about a week into it, what happens?
It starts getting all these little fruit flies and just stinking. And I took your advice and I put it in the freezer.
Awesome. You have
Well,
no stink,
Yeah.
no fruit flies.
No, it smells
and it's
actually
just-
like you could eat
just
it.
smells
but it's
like
kind
frozen
of old, but
vegetables and fruit, right?
yeah.
So here we have the earth machine, which is one of the simplest home compost setups. We're gonna prep the bed first. We got some greens from your grass over here. We don't need to do this, but it's really a good idea to start off with a good substantial amount of grasses or something green for your nitrogen, and then throw some of your carbons on top as your base of your compost. It's most important that it's around 50-50 and that we're mixing these two substances together so that they're getting to be able to do their perfect balance of creating compost.
Cool.
So now we're just gonna add a little bit of water so we can jumpstart the decomposition process, which needs oxygen and water. So I hand selected from my compost some wormies for you.
Ooh, you're so kind. Look at the worms.
Look at all these guys.
Ooh, look at those guys.
So worms are really great because they're essentially consuming all of the material in there, pooping it out. It's called worm castings. It's actually one of the best composts out there.
Okay. Hi guys.
There you go. There's your new
Enjoy.
home. It's recommended often that you put a little bit of already existing compost. So
Okay.
this is compost from my house. We're jump starting this biological cycle by adding already great biology.
Wow.
Here, feel it. Grab it. Smell it. Isn't that epic?
Yes. It
Yeah, we
doesn't smell.
It's awesome. Smells good.
I mean, it
like
smells
earth.
like earth,
Yeah.
But it doesn't
So-
have any stinky smell. It smells super fresh.
Now we're gonna pour all of this frozen food scraps in there. And sometimes it clumps together, so we wanna make sure there's no clumpy spots because that'll make anaerobic digestion. Anaerobic is without air. Aerobic is with air. If you think about life that lives without air, that's stuff that's oftentimes decomposing in a smelly way. But things that are aerobically decomposing, we can smell. It smells like earth. We take our carbon to balance the carbon with the nitrogen because the foods are heavy nitrogen foods,
Okay.
leaves and dried stuff. Or we take the Kellogg Amend product, which is very heavy carbon. We spread that around it. And what we're doing is we're covering our nitrogen so that no flies come, no smell happens. Now we do a little stir to make sure that those mix together, but we don't go too deep and rip it up and flip it too much because we want to have the bottom start to create the fungal networks that are going to make the really good humus. And then about twice a month, we're going to want to make sure that we keep this moist enough. And what the rule is when you're making it, you should be able to squeeze a drop of water out. See how I got a little water coming out here?
Uh-huh.
Oftentimes people are just thinking, oh, I can only compost my food scraps or lawn clippings or leaves and things like that. But there's so many other things. So toilet paper rolls, newspaper, regular paper, eggshells. What's this?
That's lint.
From your dryer, right?
Yeah.
Totally cool.
It is?
Compost that, yeah.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
A lot of things that we don't think about as compost, they're all organic material. And in nature, everything that's organic gets repurposed and actually helps create more life. So then there's things not to compost. We got a plastic bag.
Damn, that won't compost?
Don't compost this. So here's another one. This is an
Sticker.
easy one to forget.
Okay.
Your scraps.
Just take all
Anything.
stickers
Any
off.
stickers.
Or ties or...
Yeah. We don't want to put dog poop in our
Ew.
compost or cat poop in our compost. Those kind of things. This is exciting. We're making a home for all of these good microbes that when we put them onto our garden are acting as a probiotic for the soil. They're going to regenerate the soil system so that plants take carbon from the atmosphere and they make syrup and they pump a lot of that sugar out of their roots. So when you provide compost, it helps encourage the plants to share those sugars with the microorganisms that are in your compost, and you've jump-started the regenerative cycle of life of the soil. So we're helping carbon sequestration, taking carbon out of the atmosphere, pumping it into the ground by putting compost that encourages the plants to share that carbon with the microorganisms in the soil, building soil up.
Cool.
This is making life. We basically just started a pot of awesome life. Check it out. High five, Amy.
Yay.